My name is Harold. I'm 86 years old. I'm recording this because I don't know how much time I have left, and there's something I need to say out loud, not to teach anyone, not to give advice, just to say it. I spent my whole life preparing for the wrong ending. I didn't know it then. I thought I was doing everything right. I grew up in a small town in Ohio. My father worked at the factory. My mother kept the house. That's how things were. You didn't question it, you just did what was expected. When I was 17, my father sat me down at the kitchen table. He had this look on his face, serious, proud. He told me I had two choices: work at the factory like him, or go to college and become someone important. He said important like it was the only thing that mattered, so I chose college. I studied business. I got good grades. I did everything I was supposed to do. I met a girl named Catherine in my junior year. She had dark hair and this laugh that made you feel like the world wasn't so heavy. We used to sit by the river and talk about things that didn't matter: books, music, what the clouds looked like. She wanted to be a teacher, a kindergarten teacher. She'd get so excited talking about it, about kids learning to read, about helping them see the world differently. I remember thinking it was sweet, small, safe. I wanted something bigger. After graduation, I got a job offer in New York, good salary, corner office track. Everything my father said I should want. Catherine asked me what we were going to do. I told her I was going to New York. She asked if I wanted her to come with me. I said it didn't make sense. That she had her teaching program, that long distance was hard, that we were young. What I didn't say was that I thought she would slow me down. I didn't say that out loud, but I think she heard it anyway. She nodded. She didn't cry. She just nodded. We said we'd stay in touch. We didn't. I moved to New York in the fall of 1962. The city was loud, fast, overwhelming. I loved it. I threw myself into work, 60-hour weeks, climbing the ladder, making connections, building a reputation. I got promoted, then promoted again. I met a woman named Diane at a company event. She was polished, ambitious, well-connected. We got married 2 years later. It made sense. Our lives fit together like puzzle pieces: same goals, same circles, same understanding of what success looked like. We bought a house in Connecticut, had 2 kids, Michael and Sarah. I commuted into the city every day. Left at 6 in the morning, home by 8 at night, sometimes later. Diane managed everything at home: the kids, the schedules, the house. She was good at it, efficient. I told myself I was doing it for them. Building a future, securing stability. But I was never really there. Michael's school plays, Sarah's recitals. I missed most of them. I'd get home and Diane would tell me how it went. I'd nod, say, "That's great," and go upstairs to finish work emails. The kids stopped asking if I'd be there. I told myself it was temporary. That once I made partner, once I hit the next milestone, I'd slow down. I'd be present. But there was always another milestone. I made partner at 43. I thought I'd feel different, accomplished, proud. Instead, I just felt tired, but I didn't stop. I couldn't, because if I stopped, I'd have to look at what I'd been running from. Diane and I grew quiet over the years. We stayed married, but we stopped really talking. We'd sit at dinner and discuss logistics bills, repairs, the kids' college plans. But we never talked about us. I think we both knew there wasn't much of an us left. Michael went to law school. Sarah became a doctor. They built lives far away from me. Successful lives. The kind I always said mattered. But when they called, it was out of obligation. I could hear it in their voices. I retired at 67. Diane had passed 2 years earlier, cancer, quick and brutal. The kids came to the funeral. We stood together and said the right things. Then they left. And I was alone in that big house in Connecticut, surrounded by everything I'd worked for. And it all felt like nothing. I started going through old boxes last year. Things I'd kept but never looked at. Photos, letters, report cards. I found a letter from Catherine. It was dated 1965, 3 years after I'd moved to New York. She'd written to tell me she was getting married to a man named Thomas, a high school teacher. She said she was happy. She said she hoped I was happy too. She didn't sound angry. She sounded kind. I sat there on the floor of my living room, holding that letter, and I realized I couldn't remember the last time anyone had spoken to me with that kind of gentleness. I looked her up online. It took a while, but I found her. Catherine Brennan, retired, widowed, living in Vermont. There were pictures, her with grandkids, Her in a classroom, smiling, surrounded by children. Her at a lake, older, but still with that same softness in her eyes. She'd built a life. A full life, the kind of life I never let myself want. I thought about reaching out, writing to her, calling, but what would I say? I'm sorry, I thought your dreams were too small. I'm sorry I chose a corner office over you. I'm sorry I spent 60 years becoming someone I don't even recognize. I didn't write. I just sat there, looking at her picture, realizing that I'd spent my entire life preparing for an ending that was supposed to look like success. Big house. Big title. Big bank account. But the ending I got is just silence. My kids call on holidays. We talk for 10 minutes. They ask if I'm okay. I say yes. We hang up. I sit in this house and I think about all the nights I missed. All the moments I traded for meetings that don't matter anymore. I think about Diane and how we never really knew each other. How we built a life together but never built a love. I think about Catherine and the version of myself I could have been if I hadn't been so afraid of being ordinary. Because that's what it was. Fear. Fear that a quiet life meant a wasted life. Fear that love and presence weren't enough. Fear that if I wasn't important, I wasn't anything. I'm 86 now. My hands shake when I pour coffee. I forget names. I move slowly through rooms that are too big for one person, and I keep thinking about that letter. About Catherine writing to me with kindness even after I'd walked away. About the life she built with someone who stayed. I don't think she thinks about me anymore. I don't think I deserve to take up space in her memory. But I think about her all the time. I think about the river where we used to sit. The way she'd lean her head on my shoulder. The way she'd talk about teaching kids, about making a difference in small, beautiful ways. I thought I was preparing for something bigger, but bigger just meant lonelier. I spent my whole life climbing. And now I'm at the top of a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall. There's no one here, no one to call, no one to sit with. No one who knows the parts of me that weren't about work. I have money, I have a house. I have a resume that looks impressive on paper. But I don't have a single person who would sit with me just to sit. And that's the ending I prepared for. Not on purpose, but through 1,000 small choices. 1,000 moments where I picked achievement over presence. Progress over people. I thought I'd feel proud at the end. Instead, I just feel alone. I'm not telling you this, so you'll feel sorry for me. I'm telling you because I wish someone had told me. Not in a lecture, not in advice, just shown me. Shown me what it looks like to get to the end and realize you optimized for all the wrong things. I don't know what happens next. I don't know how much time I have. But I know this. The life I thought I was building wasn't the life I needed. And now it's too late to build a different one. So I sit here, and I remember. And I wonder what Catherine's house smells like. If she still laughs the same way. If she ever thinks about that kid by the river who thought he was too big for a simple, beautiful life. I hope she doesn't. I hope she's happy. I hope she got the ending she deserved.